Hello, I am Bria Ottelman, Minnetonka Planner. If you have any questions after viewing this presentation, please feel free to contact me by phone or email as noted here. This is the staff presentation for Elevare 2nd edition. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission recommend that the City Council approve a preliminary and final plat with a floodplain alteration permit at 2503 and 2505 Plymouth Road. 4 votes are required for this project. The subject property is located east of Plymouth Road, just north of Elevare. For clarification, this project is the 2nd edition of the same name as Elevare. However, the applicant and property owner have changed. The current applicant and property owner of Elevare 1st and 2nd edition is now Swanson Homes. Although this project will be processed as a subdivision, it is for simplicity within the replatting process, not to further divide the parcels. With a subdivision, we can process the vacation request to remove the previous easements and create new easements under the single review before recording with the county. The intention is to have the final plat as clean as possible for recording with Hennepin County. The addition contains 2 single residence properties, both accessed off of Plymouth Road via shared driveway. The original homes have both been demolished. Both sites are currently unimproved. The combined total of the 2 lots is 1.91 acres. The property currently has 1 floodplain, generally located between the homes along the existing property line. This proposal will not change the number of homes or parcels. The final proposal consists of 2 single residence homes and 2 parcels in total. Swanson Homes is requesting a preliminary and final plat with a floodplain alteration permit to redevelop these properties. This proposal will meet the subdivision ordinance, the tree protection ordinance, and does not require any variances. The proposal is to redevelop the 2 parcels for 2 new homes on more similarly sized lots. The most significant change to the properties would be the relocation of the access from Plymouth Road to Emerald Trail. 2505 Plymouth Road currently has right-of-way access to Emerald Trail. No special approvals are required for this change of access location. However, a driveway agreement is required to allow both properties to access off of Emerald Trail through the singular right-of-way access. A driveway agreement is required to outline the private accordance and responsibilities of that shared driveway between the both lots. Access from Emerald Trail has been advocated by Hennepin County, the authority in granting and maintaining access off of county roads such as Plymouth Road. This plan reflects those county comments. The property's highest point is on the eastern portion of the property where the further home is proposed. The lowest point of the property is the floodplain and proposed infiltration basin. Grading is proposed in these areas of the new driveway and homes to create a berm on the western portion of the property between the first home and Plymouth Road, and for floodplain alteration between the single residence homes near the central portion of the property. The project proposes floodplain alteration, which will be adjacent to floodplain alteration proposed and currently constructed for Elevare 1st edition. There will be cross-development across the property line. The combined floodplain alteration has a net increase, meaning that floodplain capacity will be increased and have additional storage. The proposal meets our floodplain ordinance standards, generally requiring that floodplain not be filled but must be mitigated elsewhere on the same site. In reference to the slide shown, this means that the amount of filled floodplain must be equal to or less than the amount of cut or increase in the floodplain capacity. This proposal achieves that. The applicant proposes to connect the stormwater utilities to those approved for Elevare First Edition and currently in place. The addition is shown on the screen in red. The utility will help to outlet stormwater collected on the site basin of Elevare Second Edition. As with any project, stormwater management must ensure that facilities control rate, quality, and flow at or better than the existing conditions of the site. The floodplain alteration and stormwater utilities will require revised agreements, updating those initially recorded for Elevare First Edition. Elevare First Edition was atypical in regards to the tree protection ordinance in that because it proposed a density of at least 1 unit per acre, it was allowed to exceed the standard removal thresholds. More commonly, we see sites that do not propose a density of at least 1 acre per parcel, therefore must meet the removal thresholds. Elevare Second Edition is proposing a density of 0.9 units per acre, meaning that they must meet the tree protection ordinance as is or request a variance. Again, this proposal is not requesting a variance. This redevelopment would remove 15 high priority trees and 21 significant trees. This proposal meets the tree protection ordinance. Staff finds that the proposal meets all standards of the subdivision ordinance, which includes meeting resources standards such as floodplain and tree ordinance standards. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission recommend that the City Council approve the preliminary and final plat with a floodplain alteration permit for Elevare Second Edition at 2503 and 2505 Plymouth Road. If you would like to comment on this project, please use the public comment button on the Elevare Second Edition webpage at minnetonkaMatters.com. All written comments submitted will be provided to the Planning Commission and City Council before their meetings. The Planning Commission will review this project on January 22nd, 2026. Again, thank you for viewing this presentation.